Hey guys, it's me, and today bringing you some play TCG online. Now that Dragon's Exalted is actually on here, I actually feel like I want to play again because now I can actually play in the current format of Black and White onwards. So this game today is using my new Rayquaza RayKouEels Deck. Basically, it's exactly like it sounds like. You use Rayquaza for all those pesky dragon types that are coming out. Got Raikou for sniping the bench. I've got Zekrom in there just for, random shit. Like the Sigilifts and stuff like that, and all kinds of crazy shit. So it's a really good deck. I mean, it's taken down Garchomp Altaria, which is supposedly one of the new best decks in format, and it is also taken on Darkrai Hydreigon, which is what a lot of people are saying is the best deck in format. So there we go. This little background information on the deck. It's a very fast deck. In speaking of the new kind of speed of the metagame now, I suppose you could say. Because obviously Collector and Dual Ball and everything is gone, so my only way to get out those basics is with the Emolga, which thankfully I actually do get to start with one. I run 4 N, 4 Juniper, and 4 Sharon. I could run Bianca if I want to, but I don't know. I like Sharon because I always get a constant draw, and I usually end up with a pretty good sized hand all the time. So yeah, anyway, starting off, I played my Sharon and I got a baby eel, which is good. I do play the 40 HP Dynamo with the chance to hit 10 onto the bench, just because that little 10 extra damage is really important. It doesn't seem like it, but it really is. And looking at my deck, it really sucks because both of my Rayquazas and one of my Raikous are prized, so pretty much all this will be on this one Raikou and my Zekrom shoulders, which is not exactly the best thing in the world, because basically the goal of this deck is to get the Raikou train working, or the Rayquaza train, whatever you need. Rayquaza is a little bit more risky, seeing as he can be one-shotted by just about any other dragon. But then again, so can pretty much all the other dragons. Garchomp Altaria is a very hard matchup for this, just because you have to basically rely on Raikou to snipe the bench and take out those Altarias or all the other bench sitters, and try just to get those pre-evolutions before they get up to the very dangerous Garchomp. Yes, because Garchomp is incredibly dangerous in this format. So yeah, I do not run the secret rare Rayquaza just because I don't like the 3 retreat cost. It is a very good card, and I easily have the means to run it, but I just don't like that really big retreat cost it gets. You have to go for on it, and with me not running Darkrai, even though I do have the right blend energy, I can't really rely on my 2 switch in the deck. I really need those for my Eels. I have been considering putting one Darkrai tech just because of my Eels, but with only 4 blend energy to really use, I mean, it's kind of an iffy thing. So, funny thing here is that he actually rolls 3 heads with his Piplup and gets 30 damage onto my Emolga, which is kind of funny. Now, I actually draw my second Eel, which is really cool, and I'm going to just start powering up Zekrom, just because I want to start attacking with Zekrom, and I'm pretty sure Zekrom can take care of just about everything in this deck, since it will probably one-shot everything I've seen so far. Now, because Donphan is out, I don't and seeing as he appears to be running in the Black and White 2 format, the Black and White on format, I don't really think I will have to fear Donphan. But I don't know. We'll just have to see. Now, right here, I'm going to throw away a lightning energy and a Sharon. Maybe no. I throw away the N just because I don't really need to use the N right now. I'm gonna search my deck. I'm just going to grab out another baby eel, I believe. Basically all I wanted to do was just get some energy into the discard so I can obviously Dynamotor that onto Zekrom and work a little bit, get his Bolt Strike up a little bit faster. So pretty much Darkrai Hydreigon, that is a very, very good deck. I really do like it. But just the speed of it is my thing, and if they can take out your Hydreigon, that's a little bit iffy. It is a very powerful deck. It was one of the harder matchups I came across, but I mean, it's just, I don't know. Here he actually gets his switch, and this actually puts him in a very interesting situation, because what his Emolga can do is his Emolga could potentially take my Emolga out, or it can go for the Call for Family, which is what I think he should do, just because the Emolga would potentially free up a bench space, which I could use for another Zekrom or my other Raikou if I had it. But as you see here, he does attach a Blend Energy, so he is obviously running some fighting type in this deck. I just haven't seen it yet. And I'm just waiting for him to make up his mind, because this is kind of a sticky situation he has here. He can take out my Emolga if he wants to take a very early prize, but that would put him in a bad situation, as I could just run train with Zekrom for him and probably win the game. So what I think he should do here is go for the Call for Family and get 2 basics onto his bench. He's playing a Juniper, and he's Junipering away Communication, another Juniper, and a Water Energy. I think that was it, and yeah. So, basically the biggest problem with this deck is really to get those Lightning Energies into the discard and avoid putting everything else in the discard that you want. Because Juniper, yes, it's a great card for that, but with Juniper, of course, you always have the risk of throwing away things that you don't want to throw away, like your switches, most namely, or your level balls at the beginning of the game. Ultra Balls if you really want to, but Ultra Balls are really... The Ultra Balls and Juniper is really the only way to efficiently put the things in, except for obviously getting a knockout or retreating your Eels, what have you. So, yep, it's a interesting deck at best. So there we got a Prinplup here, a Prinplup, and yeah, that's good. I really am glad they made these Blend Energies, because they are very, very good for just coverage purposes, really. He's going to actually go for the Call for Family, like I thought. That was a good play on his part. He definitely should have done that. And he pulls out a Terrakion EX. This thing is an incredible card. I really cannot wait until somebody makes up a really good deck for it, because this is a very, very dangerous card. And with Electric still being popular, as you see here, I am playing the Electric decks. It is very dangerous, and it actually does give energy acceleration. So if you run a mono Terrakion deck, it would be really, really good for that deck. But I'm going to retreat my Emolga, because Emolga does have the free retreat, which is really cool. Definitely helpful. I do have Skyra Bridge in here, of course, but just because free retreat is very nice to have, I'm glad that happened. So I'm going to go for a Bolt Strike and take out this his Emolga. I actually get a Rayquaza, which is great. Unfortunately, no room on the bench, so maybe I might find a way to sack my Emolga and put out my Rayquaza, so maybe I can get some Rayquaza action going. Don't really think I'll need it too much, though, seeing as Zekrom can pretty much take care of everything except for that Terrakion, of course. Now, with the Eviolite, of course, my recoil damage is cut in half, thankfully, which will mean that I can take it's a Rock Tumble. There we go. There you go. There's the scan of it. Rock Tumble. I can take a Rock Tumble from this thing, even though it does 50 damage. 50 damage times 2, which is which for the weakness. It's a dangerous card for an electric deck. That's pretty much what I'm trying to get at. So he does actually have a very decent idea here. It's I'm guessing it's kind of like a twist on Empoleon Donphan, but of course with Terrakion, with Donphan out. Now he's going to catch her up in Eel, which is not really a big deal because I do have the switch in my hand. So basically he's kind of just trying to stall out a turn. But he actually ends my switch away, which is very, very bad because now, like I said, I only play 2 switch, and I think 1 is already in the discard, and unfortunately I don't pull it off of the end draw. So that might propose to be a problem. If that Terrakion gets 3 energy onto it, that's going to run train through my entire frigging deck, basically. Because nothing's going to be able to stop it. But hopefully we can get stuff going here. So let's see what he is going to do. I think he's just going to Diving Draw, where he discards 1 card from his hand and gets to draw 2 cards. I'm sorry. So basically, it's kind of like a twist on the Ninetales of Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Call of Legends, where you discard a Fire Energy and draw 3. But in this case, it's any card you want. So basically, if you have a useless card in your hand that you don't need, you can just throw it away. It's a pretty interesting card, pretty decent draw power in a format now that doesn't have too stellar draw power. Obviously, basically what we have is N, Juniper, Sharon, and Bianca. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to use this level ball. Why not? Because I'm planning to N away, and I want to thin out my deck as much as I can, so I actually have a chance to get one of my 2 switches. I do see that one of my switches are actually there. Both of my switches are actually there in the deck. I do not want to play the catcher because I do actually want to hit this Terrakion, since it is my biggest problem at this point. I'm going to play the N, and thankfully I actually pull my switch, which is very good, and I also pull a Blend Energy. Don't really need it at this moment, but if I want to get Rayquaza up and going, that will definitely be helpful. So I'm going to be able to go out into my Zekrom. Now right here is a very weird play I made. I'm actually going to go for Outrage and only do 40 damage instead of the 20 damage, because I'm thinking that because if he has a plus power, he will not be able to kill me. He will leave me with 10 HP left, basically, and I will be able to fire off a full power Outrage to kill him. Now he plays Twist Mountain, and what Twist Mountain does is you get to roll a coin each turn, and if you have a restored Pokemon in your hand, you can get that Pokemon from your hand, place it directly onto the bench, so you don't have to deal with the whole fossil mechanics that they have now, which is kind of annoying, but it's a really good card, and it works incredible with card you're about to see here soon, Aerodactyl. Now, he played a Communication. That card has not been around in competitive play in a while, just because we've had actually better draw and better searchability. So I'm glad to see Communication is out and is going to get some more love now. I don't run any in my deck because I really need the level balls to get out my Eels, Emolgas early. And I run Ultra Balls over Communications just because I want that electric energy into the discard as soon as I can. So as you see here, he rolled for his Stadium, and he got to put out his Aerodactyl, which is really good for him because now he's going to be able to hit for 60 with his Rock Tumble if he can pull it off. With my weakness, it will be 120, but with the thanks to my Eviolite, I will be able to live it just barely with 10 HP, and that's why I say it was a weird play, but I foresaw something like this happening. Either plus power. Of course, I had no idea that he had these Aerodactyl techs, but I thank God that I actually did that. Because then I will be able to take him out with the full power Outrage if he does decide to go for that move and take 2 prizes, which is very good. Zekrom is still an incredibly powerful force in the metagame. It is a very good card, has incredible energy acceleration. Reshiram I always have liked better. But because Typhlosion is gone, Fisherman is gone, basically discarding those fire energies is a little bit gonna clunk up the fire type decks. So yeah. But he attaches a water energy to his Terrakion EX, and it looks like he's going to be able to go for a Rock Tumble and do what I said, bring me down to 10 HP. He plays a Super Rod. Now that's another card I really need to consider putting into this deck, just because this deck actually has no recovery whatsoever. So it's basically, if I lose all my attackers, I'm kind of screwed. So I really need to think of putting at least one in the deck. But of course, with Junk Arm gone, it's a little bit trickier to choose what you want to take out, because Junk Arm was, in my opinion, the best card in the format, because it just, the versatility and the reuse of trainers that you had. As you see there, I show the Aerodactyl, the Primal Scream, or Ancient Scream, I think it's called in the English set. It basically is a plus power for everything on the field every single turn. And he's going to go for the Rock Tumble, and it will actually do 120 minus 20 from the Eviolite. So I will just barely live with 10 HP and be able to fire off the full power Outrage and take out that Terrakion. So yeah, that was a pretty weird series of plays right there I made, but I'm very thankful that it actually worked out. So I got another electric energy, which is good. I'm going to just throw that onto my Raikou. And now that's almost powered up. I don't think I have any electric energy into the discard at this moment though. But with Zekrom at 10 HP and 3 electric energy onto him, that's not going to be the case for too much longer. I actually pull my second Zekrom, which is very good, because now whenever he KOs my Zekrom, I will be able to send out the Emolga, have the free retreat, set up another Zekrom, and then go from there, which is actually, I think, what's going to happen now. He's going to send out his Emolga because Emolga has the free retreat, and it's always a good thing to do is to send out something with the free retreat, which is excellent. So he tries to go for another Aerodactyl. Unfortunately for him, the coin flip isn't very nice for him, or the dice roll, whatever. for his stadium, and he doesn't get to get out another Aerodactyl. Obviously would not have mattered for this turn, because he's just going to be able to go into his Empoleon, and he's going to be able to do the attack to take me out. I can't even remember what. I think it's called Attack Command or something like that. It's basically like Jump Pluff, but a water type. No, but on a water type. It does 10 damage for each Pokemon that's in play. And plus with his Aerodactyl, that will easily overkill my Zekrom, and that is fine, but I'm just fine with that because that puts 3 electric energy into my discard with 3 Eels sitting pretty and happy onto the bench. So like I said, I'm going to send out my free retreater now, which actually has damage on it. That's interesting. I really need to get rid of this Emolga. I don't really want to sack it, but if things happen that way, I will. I'm going to power up my Zekrom. Now right here, I'm so used to having only 2 Eels. I only Dynamotored twice, when I really could have Dynamotored once more onto my Raikou, and that thing would be fully charged. But you know what? Hindsight is 20/20, and you live and you learn. So I'm going to take that thing out with the Bolt Strike. Unfortunately, do 40 damage to myself this time because of my because I do not have the Eviolite on it. So that kind of sucks, but whatever, it's okay. Now he sends out the Emolga because, again, get knocked out. Send out your free retreater. It's basically like when you go on a double down, you send out your fastest thing, in like Wi-Fi lingo. Now I'm looking at the Aerodactyl again for some reason, and then I'm looking at the Empoleon, and we're going to just move on from here. I kind of got him in a very sticky situation, just because I do have another Zekrom out here, which is a very powerful force. Unfortunately, it looks like he will be able to get the KO this turn on my Zekrom with the attack command from his new Empoleon that's out here with the new with the Blend Energy, and he also ends me all the way down to 2 cards. Not really a big deal, just because after a certain point, once you get enough electric energy into the discard for an Eels deck, it's kind of self-sustaining. To a point. Especially this deck with my Raikous. It's very powerful. After a point. Basically, I can just keep sniping around a big retreater that I've catchered up, what have you. I mean, it's a very potent deck, and it has a lot of options. So yeah, there we go. He's going to diving draw away some energy and get out 2 new cards, which is good for him because that lets him build back up his hand size a little bit. He's going to retreat back into the Empoleon like I expected, and he's going to be able to take me out with the attack command easily with all the Pokemon on the field, and with the help from his 2 Aerodactyls, because they do stack. Basically, it's pretty much a plus power for every Aerodactyl you have every turn, and it's a very good tech, and it also has grass weakness as opposed to lightning weakness, so it is a very good card. So now sending out the Emolga again, because again I get knocked out. I actually draw an electric energy, so I'm just gonna slap that onto Raikou. I don't really need to Dynamote or anything onto Raikou at this moment, so I'm just going to play my Sky Arrow Bridge, which will give my Raikou free retreat if I do need it. And I'm going to be able to send out my Raikou, and I'm going to be able to kill the active Empoleon with a Thunder Spear or Bolt, whatever the hell it's called, I forget. But I'm actually going to Dynamotor 3 energy. I'm going to Dynamotor 1 onto each electric just in case I get one catchered up, and then I can possibly pull pull in energy and just retreat back. So I'm going to go for the Volt Bolt or Thunder Spear, whatever the fuck it's called now, and take out his active Empoleon. And now basically I have him on the fence. There's not really too much he can do. I have a full health Raikou with a Eviolite on it. He does play another Twist Mountain, so that will get rid of my free retreat on my Raikou, unfortunately, but it's not really a big deal. And he's going to, unfortunately, roll Tails on his Stadium again, but you know what, it's 50-50 chance. It's not the best chances in the world. So, yeah. He has the Emolga out there. Now, what I thought he should have done is probably go into Aerodactyl, because you'll see here I'll get something really cool to happen, and Aerodactyl would have been able to stop it, at least for a turn. But he's going to just leave his Emolga out here after he does a bunch of things. He's actually playing Bianca, which is a very good, I can't really say it's a good card, but it's an interesting card to have in this new format. Me personally, I prefer Sharon, and he's just going to pass because there's not very much he can do. And I'm just going to Dynamotor 2 more energy onto one of my benched Electric, retreat my Raikou, and I'm going to be able to get an Eel kill for the win. Hell yes. So if any of you guys out there that are into the Wi-Fi, that's basically like getting a rapid spin KO for the win, in a way, because that was pretty damn cool that I actually got to pull off the Eel kill, and I was actually the game-winning attack, and there was my last Rayquaza. So yep, so there's the game for today, a TCG game. I'm really happy that Play TCG finally has these Dragon's Exalted scans, because it's definitely a lot of fun to play in the new format. It's definitely slowed down the format. Be looking forward to definitely a Darkrai Hydreigon deck coming from me, because of course, as my namesake, I do love the Hydreigon. It is a very good deck, very powerful deck. Also look forward to Ninetales Amoonguss and and Garchomp Altaria. I will be testing all of those decks, so look forward to those. And yeah, there we go. Like, comment, sub, all that good shit. Thank you guys for watching this long ass video. Deuces.